Eko nene. So jana ilikuwa siku moja interesting sana cause nilijipata nikiwa Twitter nikaona something that had been posted about Njeri Migwi, and this reminded me that I'd seen an earlier post about Njeri Migwi that I didn't take seriously. I was like, this is just a campaign against her, considering that she's involved in stories za GBV. Na stories za GBV hapa Kenya zinakuwaga somehow divisive because we still have those old school people who can justify that in their minds. But kuna udem anaitwa Sasha Spice Africa alikuwa ameandika #talk to Sasha. It's sad to wake up to the Usikimye confessions people are sharing privately with Gerono. I was hoping it would never be true. Najua. And vile aliandika hivi, of course here kwa ameandika hoping, but niko sure alikuwa anamaanisha hoping. And so kiclick uende kwa huo Gerono, that's when it gets super interesting because you start seeing all these posts that kuna zingine zile hazinifurahishi because watu wa follow the basic like grammar. Juka kulikuwa na hii moja ile like hakuna full stops, hakuna words, so it becomes really hard to follow the story. So hii ya kwanza ilikuwa ni hello May, hope you're doing well. Now this issue is to do with Usikimye. I acted as a big sister to Njeri and I actually call her Aline. That's how I've always addressed her. So ilikuwa a very interesting story because what it shows is Njeri's relationship with money. And vile nitasema, wacha niseme all these are allegations, but they are very damaging allegations. So huo kabaki ameendelea. And a few years back I withdrew from a great relationship I had with her. Even her own dad always treats me like his own daughter because I was always in every occasion of the family. Back in the day, Njeri had a vibrant interior design running business, and I remember we shared an office at Mageso Chambers back then. One thing I can tell you is she's a bad manager when finances are involved. She would go spending even beyond her means, spend clients' money and not deliver. And this, I will tell you, her couches were nothing less than 250,000, but she'd spend it all. Not once have I gone to bail her out from the police station. Actually, one case, she was picked from her house along Limuru Road. Her phone rang as early as 7 and the voice behind posed as one who wanted to get a seat done. And being gullible, she has the exact location only to turn out to be cops who picked her in pajamas and took her to Karuri police station. As I said, ile grammar ilikuwa kwa hii story, I think udem alikuwa na type akifikiria fast sana, but basically kila nasema ni Njeri alikuwa na time amedanganywa that she's going to get a new deal for a seat, but akakuwa arrested for others that she'd not delivered. Then ikaendelea, she called me and I had to trace the station, stepped in as a big sister and she was released. My falling out with her began when she joined the other side movement, and I called it out and the new clique made enmity with my stand. So hapo akiendelea, wacha tumalizie na honestly speaking, money and her can never be in the same room, and even the dad has tried to talk to her but wapi. So this is where it gets tricky, man, that you end up learning from history yote that it was about money. Like, because Njeri tulimhost on episode 371, and to me she seemed like a very honest lady and someone who was fighting GBV, because GBV is one of those crimes kwa umeochiko nini long enough na chikige vile wagana sema that it's unforgivable na cheki. But now it gets interesting because majuzi I think ilikuwa ni history ya Stella Khachina. So Sasha alikuwa amesema, Nini, the calls I've received today, I've cried. I can't believe that I'm being told even by videographers. Some kids were dropped by their parents and staged as orphans to get videos for the website and to pull mod donors. Nimelia because I believe so much in Njeri. I thank God sikuwahi tukana Stella Khachina, and I would just ask her hard questions. Stella, I'm so sorry. So Stella, I think this is the one that I was talking about last week. I think she posted there was a certain ilikuwa ni Edgar Obare alikuwa amepost, alikuwa amesema vile Stella amecome out akasema that Njeri had protected her own son, and her son had tried to groom some little girl or something. I think ni stepsister or something, or someone who's adopted. So it was one of those stories I was like, nah, this can't be true. This is just people fighting this woman. But inakuwa interesting. So tukiendelea na stories za Major on, because she was the one who was getting the information. She'd written pia hii story kwani, evening dear, thanks for the good job, but Njeri, yes, uses vulnerable situations to meet money from the public. I'm a civil servant who normally links up with former women rep to support women and children suffering from GBV. Last year we had this Mzungu donor from Australia. She'd sponsored many kids in a certain children's home, and when she visited us, I linked her up to the Mheshimiwa former women rep. A certain lady advised us to support shelter ya Njeri. The former women rep formed a group and added other waheshimiwa. She knows she contributed some food which were used to buy clothes and foodstuffs in wholesale, and clothing for women in the Njeri shelter homes. We were connected to a certain lady working with Njeri, and she informed us about the number of kids we are expecting. And so yeah, story jo ni whatever, but kile inasemekana hapa ni at some point walipatiwa clothes, like new clothes were donated. Afu kaendelea, the new clothes that were donated were never distributed to those women and kids. Instead, they were sold in a certain boutique and baby shop. In fact, the lady who liaised with the shelter is the one who advised us to consider taking our charity to a different place, because Njeri has turned out to be something else. Like, damn. So hata nguo zikiwa donated zinarushwa to another place. So msee fulani pia amekuwa implicated kwa history. I think anaitwa Shoba Gatimu. Inasemekana he's the one who used to come up with some of the scripts, because sasa inasemekana some of these stories were script. So ilikuwa ni another person not being mentioned in the Usikimye debacle is Shoba Gatimu Harrison. He's one of the script writers for the staged stories. So damn. So ka bado huja catch up. This is what they're saying, that she used to write scripts and use these scripts to get donor funding. And apart from that, of course, she'd go to different podcasts. So alikujaga hii podcast yetu, but podcast yetu si haikuwage na ile level ya uoshe kama like vile alienda kwa podcast ya Ngugi. So with that, she was able to get a lot of funding from people to help out. Because I remember your story yake ya Ngugi, I watched it. Because ilikuwa yeye mwenyewe anapatia na story yake, that she came from an abusive relationship, used to get whooped by this guy. I think it was in Runda. So remember that story. It was such a powerful story, man, that damn. But now, what pissed me off about his story ni some of the stories that people are sharing. Because kama his story, this was disturbing. Ilikuwa nashangaa kwa nini naona hizi confessions leo. I remember calling upon them. Nikapewa hadi namba ya Njeri na a friend after my daughter wa 4 years old alinajisiwa. When niliambiwa it's the office that handles those cases, nikapewa hotline. Then I called. They never even wanted to find out the details. Nikaambiwa I'll be called back. To today, I'm still waiting for their calls. I assumed they were overwhelmed. Alafu ikakuwa ni the only point I didn't understand ni hiyo ya kuniambia is the office. Damn. So inamaanisha if they saw any situation where there was no money to be made, hakuwa naichukua jo. Damn. That's just scary to think about. Maybe picha zingine hapo tuko tumesensor. Alafu pia kuna nini walikuwa wamesema, let me tell you Manachai, there was a case that apparently happened in Kayole. I tried to call, I guess hiyo ni Migui, since I was within the area and I wanted to give out clothes for kids and the mama, and you know what she told me? She only accepts cash. Well, offered to help in paying bill directly to the hospital. Mama Chai nilipelekwa in circles to the point I was blocked. So nacheki. So damn, like, I don't know, man. And why did it take this long for this to come out? This is just what? Because this goes back to like to Musamaga. Like, I think one of the things nachukia juu ya Kenya ni you can never know people's intentions. Like, you assume we are honest and we are whatever people, then you find out we just do this crazy stuff. Alafu ilikuwa nini? Kuna mtu mwingine kwa America, there's a time in 2021 when I wanted to volunteer in the safe house, since she'd posted a bunch of kids. I teach arts and PHE. I thought my services would help. Hadi leo I've never gotten a response. ama I was offering the wrong help, because hapa inasemekana ni story na do, alikuwa anataka do. Alafu wacha check hii story. This was another story that was disturbing. Vile nasema hizo zote ni allegations, but there are too many to be ignored. And so about Usikimye, yes, it's about them. In 2020 I wanted to quit a marriage that was very toxic. The man used to beat me up like hell, and being that I was still not financially stable and had a baby, a friend of mine asked me to reach out to Usikimye and see if they could help me out. I was given Njeri's number. I called her and referred me to their, I guess she referred me to their sijui who by the name Ruth. Being that I was desperate for help, I met Ruth and told her my story. After kusema my story, I was told to wait for the feedback. Damn. I waited until one day usiku the guy was almost killing me and called again nikilia nikichapwa. Wacha nicheke tu juu I managed to walk out by all means without their help. Nikahostiwa na a stranger in Nairobi. So even after I reached out saa 7 usiku screaming, I got no help from them. Ndio nikaamua liwe liwalo na mtoto. Like, damn. So basically what people are saying is, as long as there was no money to be made, she was not interested. And this is sad, man, because this is Njeri Migwi, man. This is like, sijui watu wanajua what she represented. She represented this woman who was asking, hata hiyo jina Usikimye ilikuwa to let women know that they should not keep quiet when they are going through GBV. Kumbe the women used to trust her and they'd call her and ask for help. But if there was no money to be made, she was not interested. Kuna mwingine alikuwa ameandika, hey Jerono, I worked at Usikimye back in 2022 and let me tell you Maina, hizi vitu zote mnasikia about Njeri is so true. I was shocked when I found out vile she operates. I went there with a clean heart just to help, but where the words she used to say, wacha tu. There's a time I went to the Usikimye office in Soweto and I found a small girl who had a bad wound on the head. She was hit on the head and was really in pain. So I took her to some small hospital just near the office for some cleaning, antibiotics and painkillers. I actually paid from my own pocket because I believed we were all helping and I really felt sorry for this kid. So Njeri later came to the office and found me with a kid and I told her nikimpeleka hosi she shouldn't worry. Nilimpeleka hosi so she shouldn't worry. Tell me why Njeri got so mad. Got so mad I hadn't taken a video for her to share kwa social media eti pesa ichangwe. She even told me nisiwahi tumia pesa yangu, people will changa online. I really felt bad because manzeni kwa ni kitu 450 and really the kid was hurting. I worked there for some time and then quit. Because what she presents out here and what she does behind the scenes is totally different. I was close to her, so I know the kind of lifestyle anaishi. People be spending donations. 80% goes to her savings, 20% to Usikimye day-to-day cost. Like, damn. So I guess vile hii siku imefika, she's going to land at a good place. Because don't forget, Kenya hawezi shikwa for this. I think majuu unaweza shikwa. Like, hiyo for getting donations and using them for the wrong reasons. Uzabaki umeshikwa. And yes, so hii story imekuwa scary. I think it's just one of those things that really disappoint you because you don't expect this from Njeri. Like, as I keep saying, mi niko namuonaga, I'm someone who's really anti-GBV, so niko nafurahia sana kuona someone who's fighting the good fight. Ekonene. So the festive season is here. Na Lemfi wako na a very great offer kwako. Baki umesign up ukitumia the promo code Ekonene and on your first transaction ya $50 ukisend home unabaki umepata a $20 sign up reward. Najua $20 sign up reward on your first transaction of $50 only. Why? Because it's the festive season. Baki umechangamka, tumia promo code Ekonene, ingia Lemfi. Why? Upate the most competitive exchange rates. Alafu pia inakuwaga ni chap like transactions ziko instant. Changamka haraka haraka. Lemfi, international payments for everyone. Ekonene. So history yote ilianza wapi? Me the first time niliona hii story ilikuwa ni Edgobare. So kulikuwa na hapa Edgobare alikuwa ameandika Usikimye co-founder Stella Khachina exposes Njeri Migwi on BNN Premium for covering up alleged grooming by her son. Asikia hiyo. And then ikakuwa ni Njeri, then kutoka andika Njeri Migwi has always been sus. Okay, I don't know if that one nenda. Hiyo imekaa ni a little bit personal, so siwezi isoma. But yes, so this is the story, man. So after hearing all these stories, what do you think, man? Do you think anyone can be trusted in this country, ama tumefika level kama hiyo ile uzuni dem tuko tunamjua, tuko tunajua that ana fight for Kenyans wale wako kwa abusive relationships, and then we come to find out that ni story na do na cheki kama hiyo story ati mtoi hajapigwa picha, hiyo story ati nguo zimekuwa donated, alafu after nguo kuwa donated, instead of nguo zipelekwe to nini, like the place where they were donated, inabaki like anaenda kuziuza. And all this I'm wondering, like this has been happening because also nasema juu 2021 2022 I'm there like all this time no one just decided to like enough is enough. And who are you also buying hizi vitu zilikuwa like donated for people? Like I don't know, man, like this is one of those stories that has really, I don't know, I can't asema ni shook me ama what, but it's just one of those stories that I don't even know how to react to, because how do you justify this? And now ukifuatilia the stories themselves inakuwa that kuna watu walikuwa naambiwa wa act, so even kids, people would bring their kids, have the kids act and pretend that wamefanyiwa vitu hawakufanyiwa, and this was all for money. Then apart from that kuna even women, like there's a woman who pretended that alikuwa anachapwa, I think watu wakamsponsor, sijui akaenda majuu, baadaye akakuja kusema that because hizi vitu there's no honor amongst thieves, so eventually the truth comes out. And yes, as I keep saying, the first time I heard this ilikuwa hiyo story ya ilikuwa ni Edgar Bare, and I thought Edgar, unajua hizi stories za Edgar saizi kwanza after nijue yuko majuu nilikuwa najuaga like yani za jump ya any story even if it's not true, he was just going to jump on it. But now what we are finding out is scary, man. So let me know, man, who can we trust, man? Who can we trust? So here Edgar Bare, let's go back to it. I think he even posted a photo of the son. Ilikuwa ni Usikimye co-founder Stella Khachina exposes Njeri Migwi on BNN Premium for covering up alleged grooming by her son. Last year he was allegedly caught having a relationship with his younger adopted sister, and when Njeri found out, she blamed the victim and retaliated against her. Then imeandikwa charity begins at home. Don't forget, as I keep saying, all these are allegations, and but the only credible story ikikam to hizi stories zote I think ni hiyo relationship yo dem na do, because if she was using clients money, remember early this year, I think it was early this year, where there was a person who was using clients money, and what really jammed na mimi because I was calling it out, and people don't understand that like people really work hard for their money, so you can't be out there like mtu anaexpect a delivery and they don't get. So kumbuka nikicall out huo mse mingine juu ya delivery, the same I'd call this one out, like unachiki alikuwa nafanya interior deco, so she'd be paid and she'd never deliver. Acheki, she'd never deliver what she was paid to deliver. And yeah, it's sad, man. So the question is, I know ni kitu moja nishasemaga a lot of times that we are very dishonest, but are we this dishonest? Ama is there a certain level of dishonesty that's just scary? Because this to me is scary, man. This is like wote tulikaa chini na nimesema go watch episode 371 akatupatia hiyo story ya kupigwa hata ndani ya Range Rover, akatupatia hizo story zote, and we believed her, we believed she was out here helping people. Then sasa tunasikia nguo ziko zinadonetiwa, naenda kuuza nguo, unajua that level of, alafu unasikia stories za she's running a charity organization, and as a charity organization of course was on a fund like, oh, make sure these kids are eating and what she does is anachukua 80%, watu hiyo nabaki na 20%. I'd seen some other horror stories. I don't know why sizioni tena, but I'd seen some other horror stories that had been shared, and yes, it's just scary, man. It's I don't know what to say, man. And but yes, let me know, can we be trusted, ama are we just born to be dishonest? Ushobagatimu ikam to story yake, of course wasame kwa kionyesha how they've been friends for long, yes. So ilikuwa ni leo nimeona hii campaign kakumbuka that one day we were leaving your office with Shiro, and as we bumped up inje picking shoes, some guy commented on your tights. Tujawaipea mtu maneno hivyo, enyewe hii maneno ya my dress my choice. My dress my choice kumekuwa kitu ya 2014, I remember that. Alafu walikuwa menikiapo sky is the limit mpenzi, so mightily proud of the Shobaga team. So I guess, so this guy is being accused, as I keep saying, all these allegations, is being accused of being the script writer. And yes, so let me know, man, does this scare you? Does this make you lose faith in humanity? And another thing is this just the Kenyan way? You understand? Kuna ile kitu moja musamaga that shida ya Kenya wagani tuko hivyo, tuliambogani get rich or die trying. So nchiketa hizo stories za watu kusema if it's not monetary hawachukui, ni fact, na story yako isipokuwa public vizuri haisaidiwi. So yes, nachikio pata tiu dem alikuwa na insist lazima wa record, and if they don't record then hakuna kitu yote inatokea. So this is what happened, man. So I don't know, man, that this has actually, and I think this story nikimalizia, I think the person who made me now want to pursue this story ilikuwa udem anaitwa Wayuamuli, because Wayuamuli used to be an editor at Nation. I don't know if she's still an editor hapo. And of course najua women support each other ikikam to these stories of domestic violence, like they want women to come out of the whole situation. So when I saw Wayua had posted, alikomeandikani, every time I fix my mouth to say something about the Usikimye Foundation situation, new painful disturbing allegations come to light. There was one night a couple of months ago when, with the little knowledge I had, I wrote here and asked why people were getting all hot under the collar of a simple co-founder disagreement. Okay, sikuwa najua kuna hiyo. One of you took the time to call me and explain the child grooming story, and I felt sick to my stomach, so I quickly deleted the post. Now that those revelations are public, here comes a new wave of scandal. Mara ordinary women were paid to act as GBV survivors. Mara fundraising was all about financing lifestyles. Alafu ikakuwa ni, I'm afraid to post anything because the posts on the subject are aging like milk left outside on a hot January day. Then akaendelea, what is not in doubt is the immense damage Usikimye has done to the survivor cause, to the women currently in its care by putting their safe houses in jeopardy due to lack of funding, and to the thousands of men, women who need their help is irreparable at this point. Then ikakuwa ni, shut the whole place down. So yes, Usikimye. So what do you think, man? This is disturbing. This is just one of those really disturbing stories, man. And the question is, can we ever be honest as Kenyans, man? Like, let me know, because I think this has imenishtua. Udem tulikana hapa episode 371. We had all those stories, then we had about Usikimye, and we was like, hey, you're doing a good job. Kumbe your time niko sure hata most probably kuna Nini fan that watched that and ended up reaching out to her. Now try and imagine, man, 80% of your shit went to her, 20% went to her. Because mwana chikizo stories hata watoi walalagi vizuri. At some point the mothers are insulted and they're even beaten up. I don't know why those ones have not come up nikiscroll through Nini, but I remember seeing some horror stories. Yani kuna wamadha wanapigangwa makofi hapo, like it's people are mistreated, watu wanatokea hapo, inabidi tu wahepe waende wa deal na situations zao, while huku online tunachukua that it's for a good cause. And yeah, This is a society we built, man. I think this society is interesting because right now I'd want to know. Let me go to nikimalizia story. Let me go to Njeri Migwi's Nini and see. Sijui kama ameblock, but I'd want to see what she says about Ruto. Kama anakuaga hapa akibonga juu ya Ruto stealing taxes, because that would be interesting to see what she says about Ruto, because I think this is worse than taxes if there's anything like that. Yeah. I think hapa ilikuwa ni regardless of what has happened, Ruto too must go. Alafu iko kwani, who are you giving up for Lent, Ruto? If there is no country for William Ruto, there is no country for you. Kiapo nikana support Ruto. In a country where Ruto exists, in a world where Netanyahu exists, what did they say about the compass fingers and women again? Okay. Hapana, Ruto and his entire government will crumble. Alafu Morara, kuna time ali attack Morara Kebaso. I called you out on the predatory way you spoke on SA. You doubled down. We already have Ruto. We can't have Ruto light. Okay. So this was her, man. And then stories zote zimetokea. After hizi story kutokea, let me see if she's tweeted anything. I don't think tweet Suju a missing child and what. But yes, these are situations that we have, man. So who do you trust, man? Who should we trust? Ama in this country it's all about the money. It's all about the moolah. Let me know, man. Ekonene.